Hey everyone, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our jointed Santa. Actually, I just finished making his lovely wife, Mrs. Claus here, as you can see. Took about, I'd say about 35 minutes, but you know, my videos tend to go a little bit longer because I'm always giving you little tips and tricks. So if you really just kind of put your mind to it, you could get it done a lot quicker. But I've got all my pieces cut out, and I kind of laid them out since this is my first time putting it together, just to make sure that I don't goof up. And we're going to start off with his extremities. We're going to do his arms and his legs. Starting with his left foot, this is the backmost layer, and this layer is going to go on top. And you can see it's got the little cutouts here. As far as inking goes, I did ink this piece, but only in this area here. I didn't ink anything down here because we've got some overlays that are going to go on top of that. So it kind of defeats the point of inking. Don't need to ink something that we're going to cover up. So we're going to start off by just putting some glue on the next layer here. And try to keep the glue kind of thin. You definitely want to get as much of that surface area as you can, but don't cake the glue on there because it will kind of warp the paper, and we don't want that. Okay, get that nice and lined up, nice and centered throughout. And I didn't get it centered, so I'm gonna peel that off and try it one more time. I think I'm just excited because these are super quick, but they look awesome. They've got, you know, a nice little touch of whimsy and definitely a touch of vintage. It's just a really cool project all around. So I'm actually going to go down here to the center of the boot first, or the leg I should say, and try to get that lined up first. That's kind of making more sense to me right now. I'll press that down. If you have a brayer, this is where it really comes in handy. So you can kind of push down on more of the surface area all at once. Okay. Next, we're going to put the black part of his shoe in place, and you can see exactly where that needs to go. Pretty self-explanatory. Most of these projects, actually all of these projects, are pretty self-explanatory. It's just paper piecing. There's nothing super 3D about it. It does come out looking very dimensional and very much alive, but there's really no 3D assembly like you're used to with some of our projects. Okay, so let's just make sure that we get this lined up as accurately as we can. And I'm actually using this part here as my visual guide for placement. I'll press that down with my brayer. We've got a little white overlay. It's going to go on top of the black. So let's get our glue on there. This project shouldn't take very long at all. You want to be careful with your glue, but don't need to take forever with every little piece. Okay, so that's going to go right there, like so. Press that down. You want that to be nice and flush with the very bottom of that section there. And that really just looks so 3D. It's really cool. Okay, there's a little white piece that goes right into this little cutout. I am going to literally just put 2 tiny little dots of glue on there, and that might even be too much. And it should just fit in there like a little puzzle. And then finally, just want to make sure that I have the correct little belt buckle. These are actually mirror images of themselves. What you want to look at this and find the one where the left side is a little bit shorter. Okay, and that's going to go right here. The edge of this, the left edge of this, is going to go right to the edge of the black part. And then you'll notice that you have 2 little markers here, and that is just for this little elbow part right there. It should fit right into the little markers there. So I'm going to go very easy on the glue here. Just a couple little dots. Well, it was more than a couple, but you get the idea. Right up to the edge, and then use the little guides there as well. And there is his left foot / leg. I'm going to take that and put that underneath my mat so it dries nice and flat, and move on to his right leg, which is identical. It's just mirrored. So let's get our glue flowing here. And Again, this time, instead of trying to line it up with just the little hole at the top where the brads go, I'm actually going to do, or just focus my gaze on this part of the boot and get that lined up first. And then the rest of it should just fall into place perfectly as it just did. Okay, grab your brayer, press that down. You don't have to push down too hard. Okay, moving on to the black part of his shoe. Get our glue on here. So I got most of my Christmas stuff up a few days before Thanksgiving. Everything except for the tree. We'll wait until everyone is home so that we can kind of do it as a family. But everything else, for the most part, almost is up. I still have some things that I want to put up, and I'm going to find a way to incorporate these guys here. Although I have, I went to one of my favorite antique stores in Geneva, in the Berry House on 3rd Street. It's a great little antique shop, and there's one of the dealers there is a super kind lady. I think she's in her 80s, and her name's Bobby. She's so sweet, and I think I'm going to gift her one of these because they helped me find a bunch of props for my photos for this bundle, and I showed them what I was working on, and she thought they were just darling. I've bought many vintage Halloween items from her over the years, and she is super sweet. My grandma lives in Poland, so I don't really have a grandma, but I feel like she's my grandma from another mother, if that even makes any sense. Okay, so again, the right side of this is going to be flush up against right here. The right side of the shoe should fit like a little puzzle piece, and then again, you've got that little marker to help you with the placement as well. And there you have it. There's his right foot. Pop that underneath your mat, let it dry flat, and we're going to move on to his arm. And you can see here, only fits one way. You try to grab this piece here, it's not going to fit on here. It should fit nicely. Just follow the shadow, and we'll take and start applying glue to the back of this. I'm going quick here. We got a lot of surface area to cover, but that doesn't mean you need to cake the glue on. Just go very easy. It's just, I'm barely squeezing the bottle, not letting a lot out. I'm trying to keep it as thin as possible so that it doesn't warp the paper. That if this paper gets too wet because of the glue, it has a tendency to kind of warp, and you can kind of see the glue patterns through the paper, and it makes it very unsightly. We don't want to do that. We want to keep everything nice and clean. So less is more as far as the glue goes. Now, as far as inking on this, I inked around here and here, but stopped pretty much at this point here, because down here we're going to put this green layer down. I did ink here, and then we've got this layer that goes here. That is all inked except for around this little half circle area. Okay, so let's get our glue on this guy here. And I think most of you, especially those of you that have a lot of experience with our projects, you can probably just take a look at the photo of this and you will know how to put it together. But I love to do videos and you guys seem to enjoy them. So here we are, just in case. And I'll try to share any tips I can along the way. Okay, so that's in place. And then of course we've got this little overlay here to make them really look like Santa. And there we go. So in case you missed it, I don't want to trump the video with my announcement, but having a baby due in May. I'm very excited about it. It only took me 39 and a half years to overcome my fears and anxieties about that, but here we are. And it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to do all these fun Christmassy things. It's a boy, actually. All right, so we're going to do the same thing on the other side. My girlfriend, soon to be fiance, She has 2 kids that I've been raising for the last about 4 years or so, and I didn't realize how fun kids could be. I guess I was kind of a loner when I was a kid, and my parents were really busy trying to make it. As Polish immigrants, we didn't get to have as much fun. Not to say we never went on vacation or anything, but I feel like we have a lot more fun than I did as a kid, and why not share that with some more kids? What else am I gonna do, you know? All right, back to this here. We've got, I made that sound really weird, but yeah, we do need more good people in this world, and plus, someone's gotta possibly need more kids to hopefully take over Dreaming Tree someday, because I know I can't do this forever. All right, so just make sure you're getting everything nice and lined up, just like we did. Oh, should have popped that underneath my mat. Help it dry flat, and then we'll grab this piece here. And yeah, I think Miss Claus is maybe going to take longer than Santa. She was a little more complex, I think, with some of the elements on her body, but this one's going to go pretty quick. So you can see where that goes, the little scallops, the little poofs on his cuff here. You can see exactly where that needs to fit. It makes his little mittens look nice and round. And that's it for that piece. We'll pop that underneath the mat. And let's do the bottom of our Santa here first. So these are the 2 layers, main layers. One's going to go on top of the other. We want this layer with the cutouts to go on top. And let's get rocking here. This is a lot of surface area to cover, so try to move quickly. Make sure that the nozzle on your glue bottle is nice and clean so that this glue flows nicely. And I can already tell up here it's starting to set, but just be careful, go easy on the glue, don't overdo it. That should do it. Okay, and let's line that up. I'm using the little holes where the brads are going to go as my guides, and just kind of feeling around the rest of the piece here, making sure everything's nice and lined up. And then before it starts to set too much, grab that brayer and press that glue into the 2 layers. Perfect. Just like that. Okay. Next, we're going to take this piece, this little white glitter. I did ink this with a little bit of turquoise, and I did ink this with some dark red just in these areas because everything else is going to be pretty much covered up. Okay, so again, we've got some surface area to cover here, so try to keep that glue nozzle moving. Nice and easy on the glue. You don't want anything super thick. Now this, because it's a glitter, the back of it is not really porous. It's kind of smooth, which buys me a little more time before that glue starts to penetrate and dry. Okay, so I've got a few extra seconds, maybe 20, 30 seconds before I'm at the point of no return where I have to reapply. Now, if you want, I guess you could, I don't recommend it because I don't like how it smells, but they have that spray adhesive that you could use, and I believe that they make a repositionable version of it. The only problem with that spray adhesive is once you push this thing down into place, it is not coming up. You're going to end up ripping things and making a huge mess. So I try to stay away from it. I know there are some people out there that do use it, and that's fine if you want to. It's just not my cup of tea. Okay, next, and this is going to be super fun here. I've got the black belt going onto this section here. Now I'm gluing cardstock onto glitter. This is going to require some added patience, and I will probably take this and pop it underneath my mat to let my mat do some of the work. So I'm just kind of lining it up with the side here, and you can see it's not gripping at all, it's not grabbing. You really have to hold it in place. I'm actually gonna, once I have it in the right spot, I'm gonna flip it over and just kind of let gravity do some of the work here. And just continue pressing that down. It's going to take a few seconds for that glue to get tacky and to really start gripping that glitter. Okay, so we want to be patient here. I do not want to lift this up at this point in time. I can actually maybe just run the brayer on it a little bit or just throw some weight on it. Honestly, that would probably be the best thing to do. Or, let me see if I can, yeah, I can probably just, I'm going to take this and pop this underneath my mat right now and just let my mat do the work. Okay, we'll come back to that because we still need to put this little gold buckle on it. But let's take a look at Santa's face here. And that is our first layer. Then we've got the skin tone layer. So let's just start with that and get that glued into place. Okay. So let's flip this around. And now again, we've got some surface area to deal with here. So keep that little pigtail curly Q sort of pattern of application going. Keep that glue flowing. Try to get it out to the very edges as best as you can. You can always go in and clean stuff up if one little section maybe is too dry and is kind of lifting up. Not a big deal, but keep that glue nice and thin. Don't overdo it. Okay, this is going to fit on here just like a little shat. Oh no, that was bad. That was bad. Hopefully that landed on spots that are not going to be visible. And I'm okay. My heart just dropped, but that's okay. It happens. Whew, dodged a bullet there. Santa has been saved. Okay. All right, so there's the first section in place. And now I'm going to grab this section. It's going to go on top like so. Okay, we just want to make sure that we can see his face through there. And I feel like we're getting to the 20-minute mark here. Probably shouldn't start this right now, but it's okay. I have to hit record every 20 minutes, which is why I said that. And I have a feeling that I can just have that internal little clock that just feels like we're hitting the 20-minute mark. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're rocking and rolling here, and maybe we're only 15 minutes in. We'll see. Okay, get that glue onto as much of the surface as you can. Keep it nice and thin. And let's get that in place. It's a little bit easier this time. There's a nice little cutout in the center. I can put my hands. There we go. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so maybe we didn't hit that 20-minute mark yet. Wonderful. Okay, so now, while we have him assembled up to this point here, I've got some little, well, what are these? This is just his little cheeks here. And they're going to go right here. You'll notice that there are some little score marks there to help you with the positioning. Make sure you grab the right one, because I think this one probably won't work. Yeah, no, it doesn't fit as snug. This one fits better over here. So make sure you grab the right one and put it in the right spot. We're only doing the cheeks right now because the mouth and the nose go on another layer above this layer. Okay, so let's just put his cheeks on there. I did ink that. This is a kind of like a blush color or a salmon color on the AC cardstock, and I hit that with a little bit of red just to make them nice and rosy. And then we'll do the same thing with the eyeballs. The eyeballs are going to fit like a little puzzle. Just throw a couple little dots of glue on the back of the black part of the eye and pop it in like a little puzzle piece. Should fit in there perfectly. Okay, moving on to the other eye. Again, just a few little drops of glue. We don't need a ton on that. It's very small. And it's actually going into like a little socket. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to finish up his beard. Okay, so we can actually take, this is just the white piece. You can see how that's going to go on just like that. Then we have a glitter layer that's going to go on top of that. But let's start with this first. And as we kind of progress in the assembly of Santa here, you'll notice that each layer becomes well, just there's less surface area, so things are going to go a lot smoother. You're not going to have to worry about that glue drying out before you get all the way around. You've got less area to cover. Okay, but also, just again, make sure you keep that glue nice and thin. Don't cake it with a ton of glue. All right, I'm going to use his little eyebrows as kind of a guide for placement. Here we go. I'll lift that up. Kind of use my fingers to feel around the perimeter to make sure everything is sitting nice and flush. I can grab my brayer, press that down. Okay, next I'm going to grab the glitter portion of Santa's beard, and it's even smaller now. So we're getting smaller and smaller and smaller here, and we're literally almost done actually, which is cool. So this piece here, I inked this whole thing with a nice turquoise color. For those of you that watch a lot of our videos, you'll know that typically around Christmas time, anytime we're using a white glitter, it's not always, but I'd say 90% of the time you'll see some nice turquoise ink around the perimeter of the white glitter. Okay, again, I'm going to use the eyebrows as my initial guide for placement. There we go. And we'll press that down. Wonderful. Now while we are at this point here, we can grab his little nose. His nose is going to go right in here, like a little puzzle piece. So we can actually pop that into place right now. Probably could have done it sooner, but that's okay. No harm, no foul. Not going to do anything to mess anything up. Just pop it right in there. Should hug the inside there perfectly. Okay, now at this point we can also put this little piece in place onto his hat. So let's get some glue on the back of this and pop it into place. Just like that. You might have to kind of wiggle it around just to make sure you've got it lined up correctly with the shadow layer behind it. Beautiful. Okay, we've got a little mustache here, and that's going to go like this. Okay, you can see how you have this little dip right here, this little valley. It's going to match up with this valley here, and we actually don't need to put glue on the whole thing. You're going to put glue on most of it, just not out to the tip here. Okay, now I am gluing cardstock to glitter again. This is fun. Again, this is going to take a few extra moments to fully set. I will try to cover as much of the larger surface area as possible on this and match that up with that little valley. Pardon my head here. Here we go. And just like I did before, I'm going to flip this over and let gravity do the job here. Okay, let that get a grip. Now, the other section where gravity was doing the job, we're going to pull that out. That's the main body of Santa here, and we need to put his belt in place. Want it in this orientation. I guess you could do it that way, but I'm going to go do it this way. I'm going to stay true to the original sketch from our one and only art director and product designer, Mr. Ron Gutman, who I'm sure is very proud of this bundle and the artwork that he created for it. And I can't forget to give Diana kudos for taking his sketches, which actually, where is it? Where's the main sketch? I don't know where it went. Somewhere. Oh wait, is that it? No. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so the belt buckle's in place, and well, let me see if this thing took. It did. He looks great. His mouth is this little piece here. Just going to put a little bit of glue on this, maybe a little more than usual, because this is going onto a section of glitter as well. Just tuck that right in there, just like that. Okay, so we'll leave that alone for just a moment. I don't know what that is. Let's see how that looks. That looks okay. Okay, let's grab the rest of our Santa pieces here. Okay, now one thing I do want to mention is that for the brads, you can use the gold brads or whatever. Actually, you know what? You might be able to find brads that are already colored for you. I didn't have any, so I took the gold brads that we had and I painted them with acrylic paint. And then on the white ones, actually threw a little bit of glitter on them too. Okay, so for this section here, and actually we're getting ready to start putting this guy together, you can start pushing the brads through. And let's get his left leg installed. Never thought I would say that. We're installing Santa's legs and spread the little part of the brad apart, and you can see how nicely that blends in there. If you had gold there, I don't think it would look really bad at all. But I just opted to kind of go the extra mile and make everything blend nicely. So we'll pop the next brad through, install the next leg, separate the two little prongs on the brad, and you can see how that is starting to look. It is looking awesome. Okay, next we're going to take Santa's head and we need to line him up. You'll notice that we have some little markers here. You know, we can glue this down if you want. I think we should glue these down. So what we'll do is I'm going to put glue on this section here, a nice amount, but I'm not going to go any lower than that. What I will do though is apply glue to the back of this so that I have the glue exactly where I want it. If I was to apply it here, I'll mess it up. I'll put it in spots where it shouldn't be, and we don't want that. So we have a little bit of glue on top, a little bit of glue on the bottom, and you can see where his little beard needs to go. There's also some additional markers there, and then obviously we also want to line this up with the little holes that we have for the brads. And that is where we need everything to go, just like that. Okay, so we've got him glued down to the main part of his body. Now the arms are going to go behind like that and like that. And in this case, what color am I using there? I am going with a white as well on that. Okay, probably didn't need to put glitter on this one, but that's okay. I'll poke that through. It still looks good. And poke that through the other side. Oh boy, get in there. There we go. Okay, we'll flip him over and get his other arm. Spread the little prongy things apart. And get the other arm in, spread that apart, flip him over, and there he is. Beautiful Santa. Finally, not quite done, almost though, we do have this little piece of holly. You can take and push down in the center of each of these. You'll see some score marks there. And then grab the tip and just pinch it. So push down in the center, grab the tip, and pinch. Push down in the center, grab the tip, and pinch. Down here at the bottom, I've got some gold pearls that I'm going to add to, well, just, you know, finish off that piece. And then we're going to take and glue this down to right about here. Actually, right about, well, let me see, where are we putting this thing? I'm going to put it right about here. I think that's good. So this is going onto glitter, so of course we're going to have to be a little more patient with this. I'm going to grab Santa here and just make sure this looks okay. That looks good right there. And that's it. Okay, so I'm going to, let's see, where am I put? Yeah, so just a couple pearls, right, actually 3 pearls here to resemble the berries on the holly. And I believe I have, let me see, where else are we putting something? I thought we had one more piece of bling to add somewhere, but apparently not. No, just, yeah, these are just gonna be red rhinestones, and that's it. Obviously you have your hole at the top here so that you can hang this on a nail or whatever you have on your wall, or if you wanna run some string through there to hang it from something else. But that is it for our joint. He's beautiful. Like I said, very very classy, a little hint of vintage, and definitely some whimsy. So that's him. And there's his beautiful bride. They've been busy. They look great together. Look at them. Like two peas in a pod. Good job, Santa. All right, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the project. I know I did. Can't wait to put this in my living room somewhere. I'm gonna make a whole display out of these, I think. But anyway, perfect for kids too. As you can see, everything was mostly two-dimensional paper piecing minus a little bit of 3D work on the holly, but that's easy. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, please head over to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. While you're there, hit the little bell so that you get notifications anytime we release a new product, whether it be paid or free. And if you make this or anything from our new bundle, gotta show them off again, I would love to see it, and so would the rest of our community. So head over to your Facebook and do a search for Dreaming Tree Group, or you can type in this little URL that you see here at the bottom. So 2 down for me. I've got Mrs. Claus and Santa Claus, and I have an elf to put together. And next week, we'll also have a cool little freebie for you to go along with this. I'm not gonna spill the beans yet, but either way, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos, and also please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section, where we have over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly videos. I look forward to crafting with you soon.